Did did you try to resist the first time they told you to reenact this the alleged rape?
Oh yes, I did. But you know, they.
Why? Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to reenact the crime,
Yeah,
but you.
Then they told me if I didn't, that it would look bad on me. That they would have a hearing, and it would be a hearing with my parole officer. So they threatened to send me back to prison if I didn't cooperate.
Okay. Were you able to visit your family when you were on parole?
On parole?
Mm-hmm. You were allowed to visit?
Not children, not nieces or nephews. I couldn't be around my nieces or nephew. I had to put a fence up to, you know, to keep, you know, even my nieces and nephews from coming over, knocking on the door, because if I did, the when you're on parole as a sex offender, they have certain units of people, you know, sex offender parole officers that drive around to high risk individuals, you know, to keep an eye on them. You know, what if one of my nieces or nephew was to come over there, knock on my door, and they drive by, you know? I'd automatically be arrested. So I put up a fence to basically keep that from happening. And like I said, you know, me and my wife, if she got pregnant, we couldn't have kids, or if she did, I would have to move out.
How about your neighbors?
Neighbors, I remember someone shot a bullet hole in my dad's Cadillac was parked out front, and there was some other things. There was this guy that come by. I guess he found out through the internet, you know, in the zip code, you know, hey, a sex offender lives here, so he had a bunch of stuff printed up. Someone did, and it was posted all up and down my street in front of my yard. Sex offender lives here with an arrow pointing toward my house. And I remember stuff like that.
What experiences did you have in prison?
Well, it's funny because you find a lot out through the law books, and when you have a case that's been reversed, and published, it's everybody's business, and a lot of people in prison, you know, daily, you know, search law books, you know, fight their cases like I did, and I was terrified that someone was going to find out that I was in prison for rape. You think I went around there and told everybody, hey, what you in here for, you know? I didn't tell them I was in here for rape, robbery, or burglary. I told them it burglary, but I didn't, you know, go into details about rape and robbery, because, you know, most people, even in prison, don't like child molesters or rapists. And so that standpoint, me knowing that my case was published and was in there, it just, it was hard. I wound up in lockup due to I got in an altercation with a guard, and I was arrested. I was placed in lockup, and they indicted me and all that. And, you know, it was dismissed at the end because I wouldn't plead guilty to anything stacked on what my time was already, and I felt like I was defending myself during the episode that I'm speaking of. And I guess they said that I was a gang member because I was associating with them. So really, they kept me locked up because of association with a gang member. Is basically why I was placed in ADSEG, and I was there for 8 out of the 10 years, and that's 23 hours a day in a single cell. No TV, only radio. You get to go out 1 hour a day if you're lucky. You know, that's what they're supposed to do, but they have ways. You know, too many people go in a wreck, too many people go in the shower. They want to deny you even them privileges.
And would you spend a lot of your time doing in prison?
Working on my case steadily. You know, I mean, that kept my mind, you know, focused. just a lot of corresponding back and forth, a lot of buying stamps, law books, just fighting my case, and just reading up.
And you eventually hired Modjarrad and Abusaad law firm. Why did you hire Modjarrad and Abusaad?
Actually, it was my sister, Lily Rollins. She found the law firm, and she told me about it. And so they scheduled a meeting. They come up there and seen me, and it went well. And another thing too, it was my sister and my mom, my mother. You know, they wanted me. They thought it was a good thing for me to stop fighting my own case, my own battles, and let someone else that was professional, at doing it, giving me the help that I now needed.
And you hired Modjarrad and Abusaad back in 2004, was it?
It was 2004.
Mm-hmm. And then why did you stay with Modjarrad and Abusaad until now? It's been about 6-7 years.
Well, I trusted my sister and my mother. They was happy with it, and I was too.
What did your attorney tell you in the beginning about your case? Your case against the city of Irving and Fred Curtis.
That it was difficult. It was a difficult case, and that cases like this hardly succeed. It's a long shot.
Is it because you'll be suing the government?
Suing the government.
Now you eventually settled your case. Why did you settle?
To put an end to it, not having to wait, or the appeal process again over. Just to try to put it behind me. I don't know if you'd ever forget anything like that. Some of the things I've seen, been through, but to put it behind me and move on with my life.
When you were arrested in 1983 for this alleged rape, how old were you?
23.
How old are you today?
51.
Do you think about the years that you've lost?
Yes. 28 years this case has been going on.
You think you'll ever get that back?
No.
What's your plan on, what do you plan on doing now?
Just, I plan on just living a quiet life. I enjoy my freedom more than ever. Back then, it seemed like I was in jail when I was on parole. Like every 2 years, I was getting locked up for something. And now I've been out for several years now, no problem. I've got a job, I work, and just trying to, put it all behind me and go on. Me and my wife are married, go forward with it, just put everything behind me.
Thank you for telling us your story.